Have you ever looked at a piece of art, could be anything really, and decided to say with your whole chest, yeah, I could do that. I think I got this one covered, boy. I mean, that's easy. We were all 7 and or really stupid at some point. For many people in any medium, that inner conversation stops as soon as the Z-axis gets involved. Mario 1? That's no problem. How the shit can I compare to you, my majesty? Now, I'm not saying 3D game design isn't hard. I'm older than 7, in fact. I'm just saying maybe not enough credit is given to well thought out 2D games, especially ones with a shorter runtime like Deltarune isn't really a sequel or even a spiritual successor to Undertale, but more of a, what if I made this game in a different alternate universe, but it Mandela affected to this gamer habitat? Well, I mean, in a realistic sense, you could say it's just Undertale again. It uses a few of the same characters in a new setting. Samey combat with the whole sparing enemies being even more dumbed down from Undertale. He does the bare minimum in introducing new characters. See what I'm doing here? It relates to the title. Full hand on the table, read 'em and weep. I think Deltarune accomplishes exactly what it set out to do. Which, believe it or not, isn't Be Undertale 2 or Be Undertale Unrated, see 10% less titties on DVD thing. The game does something unexpectedly difficult, recontextualizing existing elements in a fashion that makes sense given that this is a new world. Spoilers, of course. Skip to the timestamp on screen if you don't want to get spoiled. The fact that the status menu changes depending on if you're in the light or dark world, together with characters that talk about video game lingo like it's just a part of their world, makes it feel like you are in 2 separate worlds. The idea that the areas you visit are based on just random trash from the land they're sectioned off in is a really cool touch. And the boldness of Toby to just lie. All with his style of dialogue that just screams, I may be a dumbass. Notice how I said style though, and not formula, because I do believe these are different games, albeit with the same sort of flavor. Yet, it's very easy to say because the game pulls it off seemingly effortlessly. Yeah, fucking that Lancer guy is just Sans. They're the same guy. I assume I don't need to be the 10,000th white dude to explain what the Dunning-Kruger effect is. But here it is in action in one of my favorite videos on the internet.
The professional players playing Kazakhs. I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to badmouth anyone. I blame this Zen. His Kazakhs was fucking terrible. Die, die, die. Guys, I'm gonna go to the bank.
Now I know what you're thinking. What the fuck is going on? I don't play League of Legends. Basically, the idea is that someone is familiar with the pro player that is infinitely more talented than he perhaps will ever be. And he just looks at him as awful, and he's the good guy. He had a 30% win rate, by the way. And before you're at that high level, you have no idea how little you actually know. It's really just a human thing and not something localized to League players. Unlike most mental illnesses. It's hard. I mean, this is absolutely someone you know. You don't have to point it out. Yeah, dude, I think I got what it takes to become a top streamer. Damn, speaking while playing video games got hands. I'm gonna break my own rules and point out that guy from my life right now. He's trying to become a streamer and it's a bit more complicated than he thinks. I'm not sure if he's cool with being mentioned in passing, even anonymously. And if that's the case, I'm sorry, Chris, but that's pretty far off from video games. Well, there's a reason why I named this development and not video game development. I guess I could have named this section creation, but then it'd have to be Deltarune, creation, and Dunning-Kruger. And Dunning-Kruger sounds like a dastardly thief, and I would not like to invoke that bad influence in my community of 3 guys total. Even if you got a base to work with, something as surface level simple as putting a similar or even same character in a new environment, well, people fumble that all the time. How many times have you heard a show completely fell off, or 19-car pile-upped its last moments, simply because of a character saying, yeah, I'm a different guy now. A lot of this comes down to planning, and there's only so much future-proofing you can do when you're going to pick it up later, especially if different guys pick it up later. Hey, what's up? Just came in. Cool thing you got going. Really digging it. Mind if I add worst part? I saw a Reddit post about how you never see the most rudimentary parts of video game development in video essays. Oh shit, looks like I'm out of a hobby. I'm getting kicked out of the hobby club. The example they used was easing in a counter because it felt better. And to a point, I can show you what they mean in After Effects. So here we have the professionally made and handcrafted counter with code I totally just yoinked from somewhere. As you can see, if I linearly move the count forward, it's boring. However, if you slow down as it approaches 100, it just simply looks a lot better. Now, what gamer stats do I have to quantify this feeling good, looking good, objectively good thing? Glad you asked. I will forever stand by the opinion that a work of art is almost 100% based in emotion. I can't give you the exact number on that because of the previous sentence. Yeah, there is an objective amount of craftsmanship, vision, and planning you could totally see, but hear me out. Who gives a shit? To address what I was saying near the beginning, I was trying to give what I think would be the thought process of someone who confuses the familiar flavor of Deltarune and labels it as just the same thing again. I wasn't trying to go into hyperbole. I wasn't trying to draw them as the soy jack. I was just trying to honestly give what I think their arguments would be. Are their points, thoughts, feelings wrong here? I think to a degree, no, and to another, yes. Despite what anybody may say, you are allowed to have opinions on works just by experiencing it with no prior context. If you play, say, a video game for a few hours versus hundreds, is your opinion still valuable? I think if you realize your position, absolutely. Everybody has a limited amount of time, something, heat death of the universe. So if you're just some guy who's only able to clock in 10 hours a week of video games, your opinion is still valuable to others in your demographic. As discussions go a bit deeper than, do I like this, yes or no, a higher hour count is generally preferred. Although, with an exception, I will say right now I didn't plan this out well. I think it's entirely possible to have a positively warped opinion of something if specifically you invested a lot of time into it. Xenoblade 2 could have absolutely banger combat to people who have played the game for over 300 hours like me. I'm on my 4th run, I'm just getting the hang of it. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's on me anymore, it's my 4th run. Bringing up my white guy graph again, there's a point where I don't think you appreciate how much you truly know. Yeah, this shit is easy to decipher. I'm so sorry you have to read this. Shocking conclusion, but it's not just me. We're all simply built different. I have a tolerance for cutscene-heavy early games. Other normal people may not. I like Toby Fox's style. Others may call me cringe for it and shove me into a locker. Donkey's videos on game critics is crazy useful for understanding where it's coming from, even though I disagree on a base level with some of his arguments. You have to realize that creators and critics alike are just people with their own biases, and as soon as you start to emotionally understand that people generally don't hate things for fun, then maybe we can all come to understand video games, you know, they don't always suck ass. And we, as a species with our monkey brains, can find joy in those who seemingly do the simplest of things right. Thanks for watching.